Alright, so I'm inside the Hardy Navigator sprayer again. My problem is I don't have agitation that goes to the bottom of that sump. And that shit stinks to high hell. It is not fish emulsion, by the way. So I decided I'm going to take one of these hoses and I'm going to put it on there. So it comes with that overflow or that return, and it'll run it right down in that sump and agitate the secret sauce and the mineral that I'm putting in there. I'm going to get full of this crap. It sucks to get off of you. Oh boy. Go ahead and I gotta figure this out in a manner in which it works the way I want it to work, which I think I can pretty easily just wire tie it right down there. Alright, so I'm gonna put you guys, let me put you, oh, this is gonna suck big time. Anyway, I'll put you there. Alright. So, this is just a return. Oh, God. I'm almost done on that cigarette to the point where I don't know that.
shut it off.
Take this.
I'll shut it off.
Why? got to get out of here. Well, that stuff is pretty well wonderful. Now, it looks like it's returning, so no, it's going to return now. Which is really what I need it to do, is really return. I need about 300 gallon of this stuff in here. Ah, come on, man. You can do it. Oh yeah. Now we're agitating. That's a pretty decent agitation. About 300 gallons. Once it hits that 2,000 mark, I'm good. Yeah, once it hits the 2,000 mark, then I'm good. And then I'll fill it the rest of the way with water. And that should give me all the nutrient that them soybeans need to really pull through drought, bugs, and all that other fun stuff. That is fermented. I fermented that. So, there you go. Oh, left tip of the day. It's hot as hell. Or even if it's cold, it don't matter. You know, you're sweating or you got dirt or whatever. Go down to Costco and buy yourself a case of these baby wipes. Well, I'll tell you what. It's just water. That's all they are. They're just baby wipes. They're water. They're unscented, so you don't have to smell like a baby all day. But I'll tell you. Get salt in your eyes from sweat. It's really nice to have that. It's quite a refreshing, you know, where you get grease on you. They do work pretty okay for grease as well. They're not like the old-fashioned ones that were a chemical that nobody knew what they were back when Tim and Haley and Joe were little. That stuff, that would take anything off. You could be doused in the most nastiest, dirtiest, crappiest grease you ever want to see. And those baby wipes would cut through it. You could cut paint with that stuff. I mean, that was good shit. Probably highly toxic, and why we had kids that weren't quite right.com. But anyway, with that being said, those baby wipes, put them in your office, put them in your truck, put them anywhere. I've used them as much as to wipe blood off of me when gutting a deer. After gutting a deer, they work really well for that. And aren't those some purty beans? Those are some purty beans. They are a little thirsty. They're pointing for moisture right now. They're looking for rain. We're not getting it until tomorrow, hopefully. I'm going to try not to stress over some of this, you know, dryness, because that is a field that was ripped and worked. And the funny thing is, it gets really dry during the day, but tomorrow morning I'll go out and the moisture will come up from deep below, and the beans look like they've recovered pretty good. And it's still a stress, but beans like stress. Corn don't like stress, but beans don't mind stress. They can really pull through stress pretty easy, unless they turn brown. They'll come back. But anyway, yeah. On to the next job. I'm getting down to the last of spraying, and then we're going to get into baling 100% full time. Alright, so this is the field that I did that video on 300 years of erosion. Had to come back down, knew I was gonna have to because of the bramble briars, and I wanted to give this a shot of liquid calcium. Liquid calcium is fairly important when it comes to soybean growth. I mean, calcium in general promotes soybeans to grow really good, but I want to show you what it looks like in here. The grasses didn't die as nice as what I would have liked them to, and neither did the bramble briars, obviously. So bramble briars really hate calcium. They hate that calcium. They don't like that. They will actually sweeten soil, but they are not calcium lovers. They are calcium haters. So hoping that the glyphosate that I'm putting down with the liquid calcium and secret sauce is going to take care of those. Secret sauce is like napalm. I mean, that shit is an anti-drift. It really has a lot of good uses. And I'm going to show you, I'm hoping I can show it to you on the leaf of the beans. You can see it on there. And it goes right to the vein. Right to the veins of the plant, which means that it is translocating all of the micronutrients that I need into that soybean plant and traveling down to the roots to actually promote the exudates and promote the microbial activity that's down there. This field here, I mean, you can see the rows. There's a lot of people that just hate what I'm doing, and that's okay. You can hate what I'm doing. Sometimes I hate what I'm doing too. You'll get into a field. This here was a skipper where I missed with the sprayer. The beans are in there just fine. Yeah, but sometimes I hate what I'm doing too. We're gonna get over here to where this was trees at one time, just so everybody knows. It was trees, and you can see the soybeans are there. Gonna come back in one more time with a load of liquid potassium potash, foliar feed potash. I will be in here to do that next week. Gonna see what the secret sauce does. I seem to be in this sprayer an awful lot. I know there's some people like, well, yeah, all that regen ag, they're not going to use more chemicals. They're using more chemicals than ever. Not really. I didn't use a residual. I really should have. No residual herbicide on here, just glyphosate this year. I didn't really want to use a residual on my soybeans, and, you know, quite honestly, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't. Planted, then burned down, which was an issue. I will be purchasing a Great Plains Turbo Max with a seeding unit, air seeding unit on it. And the reason I'm doing that is for cover crop. You can really get the cover crops in. So now I'm away from where the trees were. Yes, trees. There was a the owner of this property, who's owned it for the last 50 years. He couldn't get anybody to farm it. We were farming it for many, many years. And then there was 2 years that we didn't farm it because the deer were so bad here that we couldn't do it. And, you know, just some life events that happened. We left it go. And the property owner said, well, screw it. I'm going to convert it all back into trees and put it into stewardship forest, and that's how I'll get my farmland assessment. And that's what we have here in New Jersey's farmland assessment. I came back in after graduating high school, and I picked the property back up again. This was one of the first properties that I farmed by myself, you know, as a young farmer. Skipper there. I ran GPS today, so there's no skippers today on this. So all of this grass will die. But anyways, this is where the hay was. This is where the trees were not. This was limed. That was not. That's why there's bramble bushes and briars and stuff there. Soybeans that are planted through a thick cover like this are protected from deer, because deer hate getting their eyes and their face down in this tickly stuff. They hate it. So what they'll do is they'll find a spot where they can not stick their face, and it's a pretty good gauge as to how many deer are here. And quite honestly, I'm not seeing any deer here on this farm at all. They're just not here. Yeah, I'm saying a lot today. So I'm quite pleased with what I'm seeing. I know there's a few people out there who just think that I've wasted my time. Soybeans like a little bit of stress. These beans are not stressed, but they are, and they're doing quite well. I'm quite impressed with the way they look. When I come back in here in 2 weeks to do the potassium application, the foliar feed potassium application, I guarantee you that this ground is pretty well covered, canopied. The moisture is here. If it wasn't for the herbicide that I just put down, I hate getting, even though it's just Roundup, I hate getting that stuff on me, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right to the ground here with my foot. And we have not had any decent rain. And when I say decent rain, I mean any rain in 2 weeks. 2 weeks of no rain in plowed ground normally means that there is dust. You're kicking dust. And as you can see that, I'm still able to make a mud ball. It is drying out, but this is actually perfect for planting right now. Yeah, and you can see that the napalm that I put on there, that foliar calcium, it was brown. It was really brown. There's a video that I'm gonna post, or this video here, you'll see it in the bottom of the sprayer. It's brown. Yeah, it is. It takes a little bit to wash it out, but it is chelated calcium. So 2 quarts to the acre basically equals 500 pounds of rock calcium or mineral calcium, but it's chelated calcium. So if you want to know what that is, you can look it up. Chelated calcium. Never used it before. Never have. But anytime I've ever used calcium on soybeans in the dry form or damp lime form, it is very good for test weight, and it's very good for plant vigor. And I'm feeling like we're gonna have rain. You ever just get it in your bones? It's like it's been still and stagnant all day, and now I've just got that hair on the back of my neck feeling that we might be gonna get some rain. And I haven't looked at my radar yet today. Well, I have, but let's see. What's out there? Oh, there's a couple of them. There's a couple of them out there. See, are they headed towards me? Oh yeah. Probably gonna stay to my south. That one there that's popping up at the top, that might get us. Well, pray for rain. I mean, if I get an inch of rain right now, that's gonna really that'll make the corn just take off and run like hell, and these soybeans get up and run like hell. And what I just put on here, it can run down to the roots and it'll do the same thing. The glyphosate won't matter because that's rain fast about 15 minutes after you put it on. I know that because I gotta shut that down. Yeah, about 15 minutes for the glyphosate to be rain fast. I'm not worried about that at all. Might just go ahead and load up another load of yeah, I'm gonna let this out of the bag. Load up another load of secret sauce and get that on here because I need to yeah, I just need to put it on, that's all. Oh, there we go. I don't want to run over more than I have. This field here is more grass, is a better field, and you can see the beans all down in there. You can see them out in front. Anything that's green in this field is soybeans. Am I going to get 60, 80 bushels to the acre? I don't know. I'd be happy with 35, 40, to be honest with you. The state average, I think, is like 25, but I could get 35, 40 bushel to the acre off of this without too much issue. But whatever, we don't know. We don't know. We're just going to sit back, relax, and let Jesus take the wheel. I'm not much of a religious person, but yeah, that's what I'm going to do.